and welcome to everybody joining this weekly webinar call from Player. We're going to get started here in just one moment, but before we do, if anyone can confirm that both audio and video connections are good, and then we can get started. Thank you. All right, everybody confirmed before I had a chance to type out my welcome and question. Hello to William, Rick, Stephen, Dean, and all of the new people joining us here on the Player webinar. My name is Peter. I am Player's product manager, and as the name of the webinar indicates, we're here to answer primarily any questions that you as users may have or provide any training on advanced use cases of video in your business or any advanced Player features in general. Also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as well as to collect, organize, prioritize any feedback, ideas, suggestions, critiques, or thoughts in general that will help us improve Player in the future, or just hold a conversation, open conversation around any Player or video related topics. Cool. So the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. At any time that you have a question, or if you came prepared with any question, just feel to drop it in the chat box, which is right here on your right hand of the webinar call, and then we'll just start answering them in the order that they come in. If you are unable to attend any of these sessions but would like to stay updated with everything Player and review these sessions at a later time, they are available both on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Player, as well as in our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Player. And I do encourage you that if you haven't subscribed to that channel or joined that group, to do so, as they'll help you stay updated with everything, not only webinar related, but also with any updates and questions from the community and people collaborating on Player topics. So those are great resources. One more resources that I would add to that is that if you're new to Player, I strongly encourage you checking out docs.player.com, our Player Knowledgebase, where you have everything covered with regards to Player integrations, features, and all the different modules, video training sessions, and so on. A lot of great stuff in there. In particular, I would like to highlight, if you're just getting started with the Player platform, the Getting Started section, which is a great resource on figuring out how to create your first video, customize it a little bit, as well as publish it to your site or any other platform. Also, one more thing. Inside of the application, if at any time you want to stay updated or you want to share any of those feedback, ideas, criticism, and suggestions for improving Player, a great resource is to, over here on the left-hand side, click on Documentation and Support and click on Submit and Vote on Ideas, which will take you to our product portal, where you can see stuff that we are planning on doing, stuff that we're considering doing, and all of these are ideas from your fellow Player users, and you can vote on them, and that helps us validate the momentum and the value that these features or ideas or integrations requests have, so that we can properly fit them on our roadmap. As well as you can see stuff that's been recently launched, and most importantly, as I said, you can click over here on the Submit Idea button in the top right corner, where you can specify your idea or suggestion or request and indicate how important it is to you, and that really helps us prioritize things on our roadmap, as I mentioned. All right, I think that's all of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. One thing that I just want to remind everyone about is that for all of our new customers, I'm currently on an enterprise plan, and an old enterprise plan at that, so I'm not seeing anything, but we do currently have a promotion running. So if you log into your application, over here on the right-hand side, you'll see the promotion discounts for our startup yearly and startup enterprise licenses, which are available, especially since we have a lot of people coming in from the promotion, which is currently running on Stack Social. So hopefully, if you've been waiting for a right opportunity to upgrade to one of the startup or enterprise plans, now is the right time to do so. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that promotion is only running until the 1st of September, I want to say, or 31st of August, one or the other, I'm not sure. But either way, we have a couple of, 4 or 5 days left on that promotion. After that, it's going to be turned off. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, since the Stack Social promotion is running until mid-November, mid-November is when we're gonna start of November to mid-November, I think we'll reactivate that subscription promotion once more, just as the last opportunity in 2019 to get on board startup or enterprise plans. All right, cool. Let's get to some questions. I see Rick has been busy. So let me just pull up the questions just so we can have them for reference. So Rick is saying you need a better graphical interface design, more intuitive, maybe a single page setup per video. More order to the madness, i.e. jumping from one screen to another to set up parameters, permissions with the individual videos playlist. Enterprise license, once implemented, can the CNAME be changed to a different domain later? All right, cool. So let's address this. So a better graphical interface, maybe a single page setup per video, more order to the madness, i.e. jumping from one screen to another to set up parameters, permissions with the individual videos / playlists. So I'm just trying to understand what the pain point is there. Usually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, almost everything can be done from this one screen. So this is the screen where all of your settings, permissions, configurations, integrations, and everything comes into place. So there are restrictions and permissions which you can set globally on your account. For example, allow domains and so on are set globally. However, all of those can be set on an individual video basis directly from the video settings. And a lot of people kind of miss this icon until they really need it. Here you can set up all of the permissions on the individual video, from the affiliate badge to the translation of the video player for specific UI elements, to options for replacing the sword, for grouping mechanisms, and so on. All of that can be accessed from that. So I'm just maybe failing to see what's the use case where you would need to switch between various screens. So maybe if we can get an elaboration on that, we can dive deeper into that. Enterprise license, once implemented, can the CNAME be changed to a different domain name later? Yes, absolutely. So you can set up, you can only have one at a time. So Rick is talking about the option, and I don't think I have it set up on this account. I don't. So Rick is talking about the option to set up a custom domain name. So we'll just open that to see it. So you have the ability to, and for example, I think I have, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is one of my masks that I have set up. So in this example, this domain is acting as VOO player, so it's masking the VOO player entirely. So everything that's happening is going to happen under this domain. So the Rick's question was, once I've set up a CNAME for a particular domain, can I change it at a later time? Yes, you can, but after that, the old domain is not going to continue working. Actually, it's still going to point to VOO player, but similar to as with this domain, for example, I had a site, an appearance, and a logo and colors associated with it, but I changed my settings to another domain after that, and then after that this site became unusable. It still works and it still redirects, but only one can be active and have all of the appearance changes active at one time. So once you rewrite or change your CNAME from the settings here in the application, at that time the old one is going to stop fully working, even though it's still going to point to to VooPlayer. Let's see. Rick is saying, can custom start and end times be done with YouTube videos and hybrid videos? Yes, absolutely. Custom start and end times can be done completely independent of the source. So let me just see if I can find an example here. All of these are uploaded videos except this one. This is a linked video. So is this one. Let me just check what this video is. I don't remember seeing it previously. You need sales, nothing else matters. I think this is a user's video, so I don't know. I don't want to use this in the webinar. Let me just grab a random YouTube video. I'll just do the first one that comes up. Nardwar versus Jay-Z. We'll take that and we'll just come over here to create a new video. We'll do that by URL option. So here we have test custom times. Just do that. Let me just save that. And we'll come over here to the publish options. And oops, I did that too fast. And in the publish options, I'll just do via share link, and I'll just have it configured so it starts at second 10, for example, and it ends at second, I don't know, 12. That's too low. Span maybe 17. And that should be it. Now just copy this share code, share link rather. So the video should start at second 10 and end at second 17 if everything is working as it should. So it skipped to second 10 there, and there it should end pretty soon, right about there. Yeah. So that's that. So custom start and end times work regardless of the video source, as it makes sense that they would, since those are just basically controlling the time with the player independent of the source. So the answer is yes. Also a question from Rick. When a 10-minute video, let me actually get the question. I forgot to get the questions back up on the screen. Sorry about that. So when a 10-minute video is only viewed for 2 minutes, does VooPlayer download the completed video, trying to understand of how to conserve turbo bandwidth? No, absolutely not. So you can actually kind of do some testing on this on your own. So I'll show just an example of how this works, so you can see it, the streaming in action. But you can also see it here. For example, the more lightly colored orange section is the part that's been buffered, and that buffered part is the part that's been downloaded, while the section that remains completely reddish pinkish is the unbuffered portion of the video, the not downloaded portion. So I'll do that. I'll just demonstrate this with a video which has been uploaded to VooPlayer to give you some more insight, rather than just show you the because that one's from YouTube and that's using the YouTube streaming. So I'll just show you that with a VooPlayer video. Let me just oops, did I refresh the page there? I think I did. One moment, please. All right, so let me find something that's a little bit longer. All of these are like 1 minute videos. I think we'll be able to demonstrate this even with a 1 minute video. Let me grab this one. Storage increase test. We'll grab that one. I'll grab the share link. And we'll just open it up in a new tab. And I think this has the same theme, so it's going to be easy to spot. Yeah, it does. So here we can see that as the video started playing, a certain portion of the video started buffering. And it should stop at one point. Or should it? Let's just see how far it goes. It stopped there, and this looks a bit dramatic on a 1 minute video, but it basically buffered 30 seconds in advance of where it was, and then it stopped. If this was a 10-minute video, it would only buffer up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I think that's how it's set up. So it buffers in advance the 30 seconds. So if I skip to just about here, and then it's going to continue buffering for another 30 seconds in advance, which I think is going to consume the entirety of the video. But basically, the downloading portion of it doesn't consume, just continues going. It just buffers 30 seconds from where the viewer is. And usually, I think that buffering of 30 seconds, so we can see it in real time, maybe as the video is playing. So if I hit play right now, so it just goes in advance to about this point. And then as the video progresses, so I'll just pause it there. So as the video progresses, it continues buffering in advance 30 seconds. So I'll just play it again so we can see as the actual video progresses, so does the buffered portion that in advance. So hopefully that answers that question. Rick is saying, are you doing nightly builds? If so, what is the scheduled time for going live with these builds? We're not doing nightly builds. We're doing builds maybe. There's not so much of a concise schedule. We have an official version release every week on Tuesdays are when the new version releases are scheduled, but in between those, it happens every now and again that we have a hot fix release, or if we have something that we're too excited to get out the door, we usually release it somewhere in between. But basically, we have scheduled week releases on Tuesday, actually just before this webinar, and then everything in between is sort of free for all. Message to Steven, want to do a JV. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions from anybody other than Rick? Not that I don't appreciate Rick's question, but it'd be great to maybe get somebody else to chime in with something that they're interested about Wool Player. Rick is trying not to dominate the webinar. Doing a good job of it, bud. I appreciate the questions that are coming from Rick as they keep the webinar alive. At least you're giving it live support, Rick. If not for Rick's questions, I think we would just cancel this webinar altogether. On a side note, so that's thanks for the reminder there. So the following two sessions, so those are September 3rd and let me just double check. So the session that we have on September 3rd and September 10th are going to be canceled. So I'm going on vacation, and we were thinking about Bill stepping in, but Bill has some other obligations with work that's gonna make him unavailable on those dates. So the sessions on September 3rd and September 10th are going to be canceled. There's going to be an email notifying of that cancel. Of course, I just wanted to let everybody know on this call that the following 2 webinars are going to be canceled. So we're going to be back online on September 17th, if my math's right. Yeah, so September 17th is the next webinar call. So hopefully some questions are going to build up until then. Rick is going to have webinar withdrawal sweats. Steven, I'm open to lots, so we'll PM you. All right, cool. All right, seems like we don't have any other questions, so we can wrap this up a little bit early today. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, welcome to everybody who's just joined VooPlayer. Also, just a reminder once more that Rick is saying that I missed a question. You missed a question. I don't know, which question did I miss, Rick? Until Rick lets us know, I just want to remind everybody that the promotion for VooPlayer Startup and Enterprise licenses, the yearly discount is available in your dashboard for another 4 days. So if you're thinking about upgrading, now is the ideal time to do so. Rick is saying, when are you going to have a Voo forum meetup? When are we going to have a meetup? I don't know. When we have more than 100 people that are willing to attend it, at that time we might be able to organize some sort of a meetup. That would definitely be fun. I would certainly look forward to that. All right, cool. So if no further questions, I want to thank everybody again for joining this week, and hopefully we'll see you again, not next week, but on September 17th, when we're going to continue these great and amazing sessions. Thanks, everybody. Bye.